Hi, I'm Michael Voss, owner of Pixis.co.nz. This is the second presentation in our series on the criteria for performance excellence. The topic is the criteria framework. The criteria are reviewed every 2 years and any changes are normally published during December. This presentation is on the 2011 to 2012 revision. During the 1980s in the US, the local manufacturing industry was under enormous pressure from Japanese manufacturers, in particular the steel, motor vehicle and consumer electronics industries. Cars, for example, could be manufactured in Japan, shipped to the US and then sold for less than they cost to manufacture in the factory in Detroit. It was recognized that productivity and poor quality were costing local US manufacturing dearly. Despite this, there were US companies that were growing, they were highly competitive internationally, and they were some of the world's highest performing organizations. The criteria for performance excellence was created from studying high performing companies and employing the best minds to define what excellence is and how it could be assessed. During the study, researchers looked at the practices and behaviors of the people within these high-performing organizations. They found that no matter what type of organization it was they were looking at, that there was a common set of processes and values that all organizations displayed and used. The common set of values the researchers found we call the core values and concepts. I covered these during the first presentation in this series, titled Understand the Values of World-Class Organizations. You'll find it on the Pixis.co.nz website. The common set of processes appear under the criteria categories, and I'll cover these in a little more detail shortly. The framework includes the driver of the organization, known as the leadership triad. The organization has a focus on planning and on customers. It sets the direction that the organization is going in and looks for opportunities to pursue in the future. The leadership triad consists of the first 3 categories associated with leadership, strategic planning, and customer focus. And then there is the results triad. This is where the workforce and operations processes accomplish the work that yields the results. All actions taken by the organization point to these results. The results triad consists of the last 3 categories associated with workforce focus, operations focus, and results. The system foundation is formed by category 4, measurement, analysis, and knowledge management, which is formed by a fact-based, knowledge-driven system. That links the leadership and the results triads. So category 4 forms the glue that enables leaders to monitor the results, learn and drive improvement of the organization. The organizational profile is the only part of the framework that is specific to a particular organization. Everything else relates to any organization of any type anywhere. The organizational profile is used to communicate the details that are specific to a particular organization that is being assessed, for example, for an award. It defines the environment in which the organization operates, its key relationships and its strategic direction, and challenges along with its advantages. The profile serves as an overarching guide for the organization's performance management system. So the entire framework consists of 6 process categories and category 7 for results, all under this overarching organizational profile. Now let's look inside the categories themselves. Each category consists of items. There are 18 in all across all 7 categories. I've provided an example of item 1.1, which is senior leadership, part of the leadership category. There are areas to address under each item. These have an alpha character against each. So for example, 1.1a area to address covers vision, values, and mission. Each area to address has one or more questions associated with it under a subtitle or theme. So for example, under 1.1a area to address, there are 1. Vision and values, 2. Promoting legal and ethical behaviour, and 3. Building a sustainable organisation. I've provided an example of one of the 3 questions for 1.1a1 Vision and Values theme. There are 203 questions in all, although many are complex and could even be broken down further. So you can see there's a lot to address before you can be considered an excellent organisation. We at Pyxis have summarised these onto just one page in the form of a mind map that you can use as a simple check of how many of these you address for your organisation. More about this later. One of the most powerful parts of the criteria for performance excellence is its scoring system. Each item within each category has been assigned a score. This slide shows the breakdown of maximum scores for each of the 7 categories. You can see that almost half of the 1,000 points available are for the organisation's results, just one category. Also, leadership is most important of categories 1 through 6, the process categories. The foundation category 4 is the next most important, with the remaining 4 categories of equal value. The scoring system enables an organisation to track its improvement efforts relative to world class. Furthermore, the use of calibrated criteria assessors enables one organisation's performance to be benchmarked against others, and also against world-class levels of performance. This is what occurs in the process associated with the running of various state and national awards in the US and in other countries that use this framework and process. Typically, organisations will use the questions within the criteria for performance excellence to assess their organisation's current level of performance and determine where they can improve. This self-assessment is a key part of continuous improvement and is the topic of the 3rd presentation in this series on the criteria for performance excellence. Earlier I mentioned our summary assessment on a page in mind map form. You will find this on the pyxis.co.nz website, where you can download it for free. The next presentation in this criteria for performance excellence series is on self-assessment. Look out for this also on pyxis.co.nz. Many thanks for listening. I am Michael Voss, owner of pyxis.co.nz.